What's called a scientific conundrum.
A Sacramento woman is part of a rare population of people who are infected with HIV, but somehow keep the virus from damaging their immune system. They're called HIV controllers.
And as CBS 13's Adrian Moore explains, scientists hope that they hold the key to finding a cure.
35 million people around the world are living with HIV or AIDS. Most take a myriad of drugs to suppress the disease from wreaking havoc on their immune system. 1.5 million people died of AIDS-related illnesses in 2013.
It was positive. The test came back positive.
Laureen Willenberg is one of those 35 million, but in the 23 years since she was diagnosed with HIV, she takes no drugs. She has no symptoms. She's never been sick.
In a clinical sense, I'm not progressing towards AIDS. I'm not progressing towards the disease state.
But how is that even possible? We talked with Laureen's doctor, Richard Pollard.
It's less than 0.1% of everybody that gets infected, so it's pretty rare.
He says she's part of a small number of HIV patients called elite controllers, people who have the virus but can control its invasion in their bodies.
And their body has such a effective way of reacting to the virus that it's hard to even detect that they're virus positive.
Researchers think it works like this. HIV attacks CD4 T cells, which are basically white blood cells that help your immune system. In most patients, HIV kills those T cells and replicates itself, overpowering another type of T cell called CD8 cells that are meant to fight off viral infections. But in people like Laureen, those CD8 T cells are particularly strong. They act like soldiers and regulate the infected CD4 cells. This keeps HIV from replicating and diminishing her immune system.
I haven't had a decline of CD4 cell counts at all. And that's pretty magnificent, and I'm very humbled by that.
Over the past decade, Laureen has taken part in 13 studies. Researchers are now trying to figure out why elite controllers are able to do what they do.
And finding that the answer to that might lead to other kinds of research to try to develop techniques to make someone mimic these elite controllers.
Dr. Pollard says studying elite controllers is just one avenue researchers are taking in order to stop the HIV and AIDS epidemic. Both he and Laureen hope they'll see the day there's a vaccine or perhaps even a cure for HIV.
If that happens before I go, then I know that I have lived a good life.
You might be wondering how many people like Laureen are actually out there. There are about 500 known elite controllers in the world. Of course, there are likely many more, considering there are 35 million people living with HIV or AIDS. At the age of 61, Laureen is going to college to major in bioethics. And on top of the scientific studies she has participated in, she has served as an HIV advocate for years.